Dear colleagues, first I have two preambles to ask. Do you ever have happened the experience that would happen a broken noseband during the round? I've never seen that. Good. Second is, would have the rider ask for more time if that would happen in the first round? So I think, although we talked together, he has no much longer time. He can find a reserve noseband, for instance, of another rider, and the groom can go and fetch one in a stable, but not much longer time as it could be in some minutes done.
Any comments?
Hello, Anastasio Mosso from Panama. I have a question regarding a similar case. What happens if this happens before the jump starts, the jump off begins? Would that be comparable to the horse losing the shoe, as Article 245 says?
Okay, let's put it that way. I'm trying to say something without answering the question. The purpose of that question was indeed to find out whether this is the same situation as a horse with a lost shoe. Are we all in agreement what we would do with a horse with a lost shoe? In a jump-off, there is a very, very clear rule about that, and this is that you give the horse 3 starting positions later, and with the purpose that they might fix the shoe, and if they haven't fixed the shoe, then it's up to you to decide to give him even a later starting position. And at a certain point, if they're running out of starters, you have to say, you come in now on 3 shoes, or you do not start. That's your decision then. That's the clear thing with the lost shoe. So the question is now, is that situation with a broken noseband comparable to the lost shoe thing? Would you say this is the same, or is that something different? And if you say it's the same, then please, you might say it is because of this. And if you say, no, it's not the same, then try to convince us with a good reason. Anne.
I personally would say that it's not the same. Is it a safety issue if you take the noseband off and ride without it? As far as I know, I don't think so. If it were a rein, yes, I would take that. But a noseband, I don't think that there's no safety issue there. There's no problem. I mean, if they can go and get it replaced within as quickly as possible, but I don't think that.
Would you force a rider to come in and jump if he thinks it's a safety issue?
Of course it's a safety issue. If you're changing the tack on a horse and you're going to insist that that rider comes in without a particular piece of tack that it has broken, to me it's similar to losing a shoe.
Sorry, we had a case, but it was not a time issue. We had a bit that broke, a plastic bit. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So what would we do if it was a bit? Mm-hmm.
Any more comments? Radovan.
I will ask 2 other riders if they totally aware about situation and they agree to start in jump off and give a time to change the noseband. If one of the last or before last riders say no, we have to wait. And I will give chance, due to security reason, change the noseband.
Okay, let me make 2 comments on that, and maybe my 2 partners in crime will kill me, because I'm just about to change my opinion a little bit to what we discussed before. So if they kill me, it was very nice to meet you all, and I wish you a wonderful day tomorrow. The first sentence, Radovan, I somewhat disagree that we ask other people, because we have to make the decisions, and it's not democracy that we ask people if they agree or not. We make decisions according to existing rules or to common sense, and it's not up to us to ask anybody, because how far do you want to go if you want to have riders in agreement to what you are doing? We can't vote on judges' decisions. We make a decision, and then they can appeal against that if they're not happy. That's the normal procedure. So I would not really agree on that. The first solution we found was that we said, if it is comparable to a lost shoe, then we would allow this. And this would be limited to cases where this is a horse welfare issue, maybe, or this is a security or a safety issue. And I was very happy with this solution. On the other hand, I'm just thinking about why did we limit that on a lost shoe? If we would have liked that, we could have put that in the rule and saying, in any case of a safety issue or horse welfare, then you can give him 3 positions later. But for what reason ever, the FEI in its wisdom has decided to limit that on a lost shoe. So yeah, it is what it is. So of course now you can say this is where common sense comes in, but the more I deal with shows where you have prize money about some million, I learn more and more that you can forget common sense, because there is not even such a thing. So we are maybe a little bit on thin ice if we allow that. And maybe this is something where we should have a look at, because I would very much support the idea to go with the common sense thing and say, if this is comparable to a lost shoe, then we should allow that. But how far do you go? We can't even agree in this room if a broken noseband is a safety issue or not. Some people say you can easily compete without a noseband. Other people say you can't control the horse anymore. So that depends case to case. So do you really want to make a case-to-case decision? It's pretty difficult. So we had discussions about that earlier. What do you do? There is a problem with the boot, and you can't use the boot anymore. Is that then horse welfare if he competes without one boot? That's all very difficult. So I have a certain feeling being a little bit responsible for the right solutions. There is not really a clear solution for that, and I take that on board that we take a look at that in the committee if we have to change that a little bit, because I don't think that common sense will really lead us to a good point.
Just a short question regarding the spirit of the rules.
Yeah.
Why is it restricted to something happening before the beginning of the round or the jump off? Because it says here, in a jump off that loses a shoe prior to starting.
Yeah, prior to the start of that horse.
Of that horse,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
of the jump off.
No. Good that you asked that. It is the starting of that horse. It happens before the start of that horse, not because, not before the start of the jump off. Yeah. Ralf.
And in the meantime, the other riders may jump.
Between a lost shoe and a broken tack is the responsibility of the rider. The rider is responsibility for his tack,
Yeah.
and everything is
Yeah.
proper condition. The lost shoe, shit happens.
Yeah.
So, but
Very
we
good
should
point.
now, what is
Yeah.
the common sense, how long to wait?
Yeah.
That is the only common sense, how long to wait.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I would agree to this, because you do not have any influence on a lost shoe. Of course, you can say, okay, you can take your horse to the farrier early enough and get that checked. But we all know with different footing conditions, it can happen that you lose a shoe. Simple as that. The horse has just left the farrier and everything is 100% okay, and 5 meters later you lost a shoe. This can happen. But a broken noseband, problems with the stirrup, with the whatever, boots, bandages, this is something you are responsible for. And then you have to see how to help yourself. So I have a certain feeling, the more we discuss that, the more I'm convinced that we should not allow that. But I guess we should take that on board, and we should take a look at that if we think, we as the jumping committee, whether we think that it should be extended to other things. But before we did that, most likely we should keep it as it is. As I say, you always
One comment.
Yeah.
I think that when it's in the rules something today,
Yeah.
we can discuss something on the future, and I am fully agree with you. But today in the rules, it's only that you can make a break with the shoes.
That's
and
what I just
if
said.
we start to discuss how to go around the rules, then we kill ourselves.
That's what I just said, or at least what I try to say. I get more and more sympathy that we should take a look at that, but for the moment it is limited to the lost shoe. And most likely there is exactly that reason for that. And if we should come to the conclusion that we extend that for next year, and then we have a different rule. Yeah?